Hello. Hi, everybody. Good evening. And, before our introduction, I forgot to wish you guys, but happy Women's Day. Thank
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for
Happy Women's Day to you too.
this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Uh, j- uh, you know, Cindy will join us in a moment. So um, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to join me today while we, celebrate this wonderful day. And Before I get started, I would like to quickly tell you about what we plan in terms of the next 30 minutes. So I've been working with Anaga and over the last one year in multiple projects that have some impact. That have a lot of impact towards all of the problems that have been created by COVID-19. So earlier in December 2020, we officially, registered and launched our not-for-profit in Canada. So if for the audiences and for folks that do not know, Collective Win is a Canadian not-for-profit that delivers solutions to address economic and social disruption, right? Today, we are launching our first Women Entrepreneurial project, and it's being a very special day of International Women's Day. A little bit more about the products. The products are a line of luxury handmade diyas and candles designed and molded at OIA Design Studio. This design studio has been founded by Cinzania Rodrigues, a social entrepreneur and an artist. She's based out of Pune, India. So the whole concept behind the Unlock We project is to create a network of women-led companies that are focused on creating sustainable livelihoods for women in India and around the world. So our first pilot is based out of Pune, and the sale of these products, the sale of the products, they are actually candles and diyas. I believe we have them. We have one lit up right here. Bhagesh, can you give it a focus while we speak? I think it's beautiful, so you can get a full view of. Bhagesh, can you please bring the main candle to the floor? Yeah, thank you. So they will be open for pre-orders, or you can we have it listed on our website, or else if you want, you can also purchase it from OIA Design Studio. So we're deeply inspired by the strength, creativity, and resilience of Indian women and women generally all over the world, and we're excited to support women in their pursuit for economic and social development by providing them with this entrepreneurial opportunity. As I said, the first project has got a focus on luxury handmade candles, right? They're designed, and the candles and the diyas are designed to create a sense of community and inclusivity. They're made out of natural ingredients, and they're the most environmental friendly candles in the market today. With me today, I have, as I said, we have Basanti. She's the executive director at Tara India. I have Dr. Lakshmi with me. I have Dr. Lakshmi with us also, who's been instrumental in the field of psychiatry, and she's got over 20 years of experience in mental health counseling. And she's also a very instrumental part of our project, which is the Freedom Project at Collective Win, right? And she's based out of Chennai.
Thank you, Alec.
And we have a young and upcoming news reporter, channel reporter called named Chaitali. Yes. Chaitali is working with Z24, right? Unfortunately for us, Radhika wasn't able to join us, but she has a video message for us, which we will, plug into this stream later. She's a corporate lawyer, and since he's on her way, she will be here shortly. Correct? Okay. So, to give some background to the theme today, right? So there are a number of things that we hope that we eventually lead focus on, today being International Women's Day. So one is there is a lot to celebrate. So and in the US by itself, today is this entire month is dedicated to women's history. So we at Collective Win, over the next couple of weeks, we will be interviewing women from different industries, and curating a lot of content, a lot of advice from them, which eventually celebrates women's achievements. The other objective that we're trying to build is, obviously we start with this activity, is to essentially build awareness for all of the different contributions that women have provided to generally their industries, towards their day-to-day, the impact they have to our day-to-day lives. We want to smash stereotypes. We want to influence better behaviors and challenge bias. And we expect that over time, with the campaigns and with the different projects that we run, we will reinforce commitment towards improving the overall well-being, and creating more and better opportunities for women that we work with and who are a part of our lives. So who is typically going to be, who do we seek to engage? Obviously the general public, but we also would like to focus on people who work at organizations, students. Even at the end of the day, when we as customers interact with women, we expect a certain impact that we would have in their in that transaction, right? So simply put, we aim to it's celebrated throughout the world, right? So it's a well-known moment in most countries, and it's a day to celebrate social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. This year, the focus, as per the website called International Women's Day, the focus is an alert world is a challenged world. That's what it is about. And the key points that they wish to convey is that many societies have moved on from women having to succeed in a man's world. Secondly, stereotypes are being challenged, and there is a diverse representation of women that is more evident. And there is still a continuing need worldwide for more progressive mindsets and inclusive behaviors to be forged. Collectively, everyone, everywhere can strive for women's equality and continue to make positive gains. So let me set some interesting historical context. So I'm going to go a little behind to give us some perspective as to how this all came about. So the first early part of the 1800s and 1900s, women activists fought hard for equality. The focus was largely on securing the right to vote and equal pay for equal work. These two issues, women's voice and participation in government, the gender gap, and they still continue to remain a key priority even today. Fast forward to the 1970s, we see a lot of widespread feminist action, like women rallying, protesting and lobbying hard for inclusion, influence, and equality. The 1980s saw an array of fixed women programs that were well-meaning in trying to help women become more confident, visible, well-networked, and assertive. But many reinforced the notion that women need to act like men and fit into their existing patriarchal structures and organizations if they were to succeed, while still being a superwoman at home, right? So you would see a lot of shoulder pads, power suits, high heels, and a loud voice in fashion. This has now changed. The 1990s focused on organizational development, change the organization. Maybe if we change or fix the organizational structures, women will thrive. So areas like the focus on women in the boardroom escalated, as did more diverse recruiting, inclusive talent pipelines, and attention to a wider diversity of groups beyond gender, such as race, LGBT, and so forth. The introduction of top company and top women's style lists occurred, and as they increased in popularity, the number of new lists launched each year increased exponentially. In the more recent years, men as advocates, champions of change, has been recognized as the major trend in accelerating women's equality. Many progressive CEOs and influential leaders have committed via formal public channels to helping build diverse and inclusive organizations that challenge stereotypes and bias. Today, the world expects inclusivity. Movements like Me Too, Time's Up, and the significant global rise in International Women's Day activity in every corner of the world, along with many female focused days and initiatives around the world, mean gender is firmly on the agenda. Gender related conversations and activity are certainly on the rise. Back in 2017 and 2018, International Women's Day was the most discussed topic on Facebook by millions, even more than the Super Bowl, right? The Pantone colors for the year 2018 was purple, which is typically a woman's color. Everywhere gender is on the mainstream radar and impacting the narrative. Stereotypes and bias are more likely to be called out. Men's role in society is more varied and gender roles are more fluid. We're moving to an exciting time in history where the world now expects equity, diversity, and inclusion. The world notices its absence and celebrates its presence. Right? In 2019, groups continued to play a critical role in helping forge a more gender balanced world as we work towards a balance for better 2020. Amidst the pandemic, saw an important wave of collective individualism as we all strive to be each for equal, because an equal world is an enabled world. And now it's up to all of us to choose to challenge and consistently commit to calling out inequity. So that was what I'm going to finish with. So I'm going to quickly now, because we have a very diverse set of speakers today. I'm going to ask each one of you individually. Number one, my question to you is, and I'm going to repeat that again, but I'm going to just summarize it. Number one is, if you could just quickly tell us about yourself, your role in your industry, right? And what are the challenges that you choose to pick up and change the bias towards, right? So I'm going to start with Basanti. Is that okay? Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right. So to quickly introduce myself, I'm Basanti in India, but I'm Caroline in France because I'm French. I've been living in Delhi for the last 6 years, and as you can see, changed my name and my life. To give you a bit of background, I have a Master of Political Science and a Master of Social Work. So I come from two very complementary perspectives, I believe. And today I'm the director of Tara Child Protection and Empowerment, which is an NGO running children's homes and outreach activities in Delhi only. So briefly about Tara, because I could go on and on and on about the work we do. We have, as I said, children's homes for children, boys and girls from the age of 2 to 18. Children who cannot live with their families. They have been victims of extreme violence, sexual abuse, trafficking, etc., etc. And we provide them protection and education, because the big mission of Tara is that beyond providing shelter and food and basic needs, we really want to equip those children to live a better life when they become adults. Later on in the development of Tara, we open outreach activities in order to reach out to more people and to families and children who are living in vulnerable conditions, but can still live together and with a little support, whether it is educational or administrative or counseling. We can keep the family together and help them deal better with their struggles. Is that clear enough about Tara? I believe so, no?
Yes.
So you want to know about the challenges which we try to tackle?
Basanti, I'm sorry to interrupt, but before we get there, I think you would bring a very interesting perspective, because you are of French nationality and you know what it is for a woman in France and here in India as well. And you have typically you would have a very you'd have two views to how things work, right? Can you shed some light and what's different, what's similar, if that
I
is?
can share a very personal story if you have 2 minutes. I can share a
Yes,
very
please.
personal story.
Yes, please.
Okay, the first time I came to India, it was in 2010, and I was 21 years old. And I grew up in a family of women, and I had never really realized um, how difficult it can be to be a woman. I had a lot of friends, boys, girls, and my mother used to work, earn for the whole family, and I've never really felt discriminated. And then I spent 6 months in India, where clearly, a lot of women suffer from discrimination, and I had to adjust a lot. Also, the clothes I can wear, the way of speaking, the way of and remember that I was 21, so that was like a huge challenge to adapt, not offend anyone. And I came back to France with this for my studies. I had to continue my studies. I went back to France, and I had this hope that I would feel so much free there, and that nobody would discriminate me. Nobody would dare saying anything related to my gender. And I had the biggest shock in my life. It's actually when I came back to France from India that I realized that I had to be a feminist. I had to take on this fight as well. And so, the experience of um, France and India, but trust me, the fight is everywhere. It's everywhere. Obviously, there are very deep issues in India, but uh, I mean, Western countries are also have to work a lot on gender stereotype too and gender discrimination. So we have no lesson to give, and I want to make that clear. So like I have no lesson to give. So that was a little personal story.
Thank you. Thank you
But
for sharing.
sorry.
So thank you for sharing.
And yeah, in terms of challenges, I mean the challenges as a first, I think as a woman and a director, it's a challenge on its own. Um, I choose not to think about it too much, because otherwise it gives it too much importance. And I also see so many, very strong women leading whatever companies, foundations, even small shopkeepers. I mean, we all do our part, I think. And with regards to TARA, the organization, gender equality is really a core value of our action. As I said, we take care of both boys and girls. We educate them in the same manner, and that's very, very important. And I'm even talking about the diets they have. There is absolutely no difference. They have the same food, they play the same sport, they have the same English classes, they have the same career counseling sessions. I think it starts from just giving the opportunities to a person to be what this person wants to be, being a boy, a girl, a transgender person. It doesn't really matter. And and I think it's very important as caretakers to welcome the complexity of gender, because I mean, gender is beyond just I'm a woman, or I'm a man, I'm 100% man, or I'm 100% woman. And when you take care of children, you've got to give them the possibility to be who they feel they are, and guide them along. Alec, are you still with us, or have I bored you already? Should I continue, Anaga?
Yes, yes. I am in. For some reason my video went off. I'm sorry.
Okay. So yeah, I think it's about a mindset, an attitude. I think it's about training the people we work with. Also, we are from the social work sector. It's a sector where there are a lot of female staff, but again, it's not because you are a woman that you are really empowered or you know much about gender equality. So I think it's very also important to empower the staff. And I want to quote quickly two people in Tara that something happened recently, and I really want to share that with you because I think, for me at least, it kind of told me that we are progressing. The first one happened some last week. We had a training on sexuality education with all the staff of Tara, so men, women, and at some point there was this night staff. She's a woman. She has been working with us for the last 2-3 years, and she was just able to openly discuss periods and all the stereotypes around periods, the pain, and there were a lot of people around her. There were also male colleagues around her, and I felt that if she, was comfortable enough to speak up about such an intimate matter, we had made some real progress, and that the children could be really educated just in a respectful environment of both of every gender. And so that's what the little story. And just to conclude, I had a discussion with a few teenage girls we have in one of the homes, Starlight Girls, and we were talking about freedom and independence as girls, as women. And one of them looked at me and told me, "So, ma'am, it means that we have to build our own freedom too." And I think she summed it up, like, yes, we have to build this world where we all build our freedom, whoever we are, whatever we do. And I think that would be my message for today. Stolen from a girl.
Thank you. You know what? With that, thank you very much, Basanti. And we have Cindy with us. Hi, Cindy. You're the star of the show. That's right. So,
No start.
Cindy, yeah. So, since if Cindy, we have Basanti with us, Chaitrali, and Dr. Lakshmi. We were just
Hello.
talking about
Hi.
Cindy is the artist and the maker behind the candles. She's the founder of the studio, like me. And as we progress ahead, in fact, Dr. Lakshmi, I believe you received one of the candles that we sent out today, right?
Oh, she's sitting with her candle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
it's oh my goodness, thank you very much. Looks beautiful. Yeah, thank you. Yes, yes. So these are the candles. So since I'm Basanti, Since we'll come back to the candles. I have one more. I have a few more questions for one more question for Basanti. Thank you, Dr. Lakshmi, for sharing. You know, uh, Basanti, one quick question. I've been working because of the work we're doing right now. We've been interacting with a lot of founders. In fact, even yesterday we interviewed a founder, young social entrepreneur, who's delivering impact, a lot of impact towards causes they believe in the local community, right? And in the same space, we have been interacting with women founders who are recently launched their not-for-profit, or they are in the early stages of setting up their not-for-profit. So what advice do you have for them when they take on? What could you tell them? What advice you could give them to prepare as they get ahead, as they start breaking into social work and delivering impact?
This is a very tough question.
Sorry.
I'm gonna contradict you then, Alet, because in your introduction, you said that we no longer need to succeed in a man's world. We are not there yet. I wish, I wish, trust me, but no, it's still a man's world. Even the social sector, in fact, was telling that there is a lot of female staff, but it's still a man's world. So I think when you are a woman leader, you just have to believe in believe in your cause, believe in yourself, and forget that some people, maybe no longer the majority, but some people will see you first as a woman. Forget about it. Because it does not matter. As long as you are competent and driven, and that's all what matters. So it's a lot of belief.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's absolutely true. That's true. And me saying what I said is just hoping for the best and keeping fingers crossed. Maybe it should be a reality in some time where it's all equal.
Yeah, and women have to come together. I think it's also our responsibility. I received a message this morning: strength and solidarity. I think that's what we need to do. If we've got to come together, that's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Cinzi, what's up? How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I believe you must have been doing some good business because of International Women's Day, no? And your
Yes,
beautiful candles.
but there has been a steady stream of customers today.
Good.
So it's been a little crazy, but that's good. So
All right. So, before I move to Dr. Lakshmi, Cindy is very lighthearted. She's very fun conversations, a lot of interesting insights. So, I'm just going to have a few questions. And Cindy, can you tell us why you got into what brought you around to bringing ER to life, and tell us the story about how you went around. I've heard it. I've heard it quite a bit. So, but everybody needs to know how it all came about, right?
okay. Um, it's no great story. It's just that an interior designer by profession and have an extreme passion for anything beautiful. So uh, in my search while I was an interior designer looking for candles for ambience at home, I just couldn't find anything in the Indian market. It's not that there weren't any candles. Well, they were, but they were pretty crap. So, and they were not cheap. So I was buying crap. And then that had to stop at some point. So one fine day, I just decided that it couldn't be that hard. It couldn't be rocket science. So I decided to start making candles. I literally burnt myself and learned because 17 years ago, when I started making candles, there was no Google. There was no, what are the other things we use? What's our other app? YouTube?
YouTube.
Or,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
where you can see stuff and people. So I didn't have any of that. So with a little bit of common sense, my experience and my understanding of wax, I kind of put two and two together and I started making candles. So I grew from strength to strength. It was started making small quantities for myself. Then I started gifting them. People appreciated them. Then close friends started buying them. And that's how I got started. And there hasn't been any turning back since. So in the year 2012, I decided to open a store, which I got a lot of crazy looks from people. Is like, you're gonna have a store to sell just candles. So I was like, yes, that's all I was doing then. So from my kitchen at home, I moved to a little studio and started making and selling candles from there. It's just been one hell of a ride. But in the process, I mean, I've learned a lot. I've learned about myself. I've learned about wax. I've learned to deal with people from all walks of life. Then having to deal with labor stuff. It's been all on the job. Nothing comes with a handbook. So
Thank
people, women,
thank
what
you,
they,
Cindy. Maybe because I believe you're on mobile later on, you can give us a tour of the studio. Yeah.
I'm happy to do that. You'll have to excuse the mess today, though.
That's okay. That's okay. That's a good place then, right? Something is happening. Great stuff's being built.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. So I'm going to move the conversation to Dr. Lakshmi. Yeah. Okay. Dr. Lakshmi, thank you for your patience. I intended to have this introductory done before, but I believe Cincy was a little tied up with some customers and work in there. So, Dr. Lakshmi, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into how you got into the mental health space? And I'm sure for you as well, it must have been a different time when it comes to breaking into a predominantly male industry, right?
Yeah, good evening all. Uh, Me into the field of mental health is, I cannot say it by accident it has happened or by coincidence it has happened. Uh, I started my career as a teacher. Way back in 94, I started my career as a teacher. And from there, I worked with a lot of students because as a teacher, you have to work with adolescent children. So I was a trained graduate teacher, so I had to work with a lot of adolescent children. And from there, I started studying more about psychology, and I finished my MPhil and PhD there. Of course, it took a lot of time. Uh, Throughout the course, I was learning about what is going on in my mind as well. Studying psychology is what is that. Yeah. So I understood that teaching is not my profession or my cup of tea. Probably I have to teach something else. So I came into this field of psychology, though even now I am teaching. So the basic profession is still on, but what I'm teaching and to whom I'm teaching probably has changed. And over the decades, which I had seen, because I told you that I started my career in '93, so it's been now almost 2 decades had passed. Yeah. So what I have seen over the years, especially relating to women empowerment and gender things. But before going into it, a small intro about me is I'm running a not-for-profit organization called Mastermind Foundation, which is working for the mental health, which was started in 2005. And specifically, it was started with an aim to spread mental health awareness, because uh, that was not where people were looking for. No, people were looking for education. People were looking for career. People were looking for the best physical health possible. But what is more important, which was left out, was the mental health. So this Mastermind Foundation, which when I started, the society was not more aware about mental health. Now we are talking about mental health virtually also over Facebooks, over YouTube, even in WhatsApp. Over the last 5-6 years, after WHO has created depression as the theme, people are talking more about mental health. Now what I see is, from this extreme, we have suddenly moved on to the other extreme, talking more about mental health. Everywhere, in every place, in everything that we do, we start talking about the mental health. And I'm also running my center, the Mind Care Center for Mental Health, where I treat people without medicines to improve their mental health, because once your mental health is enhanced, your physical health is automatically enhanced. Your immune system works at the best if you are mentally stable, if you are mentally strong. So this is my intro. I think this is more than enough. I am not doing anything much more than this, I suppose, Alet. I think your mic is muted.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Dr. Lakshmi. I'm going to give you some time, but do you have I know you're very well read about the Vedas and familiar with the territory, right? So do you have a quote for us today? Is there something you can quickly give us?
Yeah, actually, when Basanti was talking about the gender sensitivity, the first thing which I came to my mind, being a psychologist, is sex and gender are entirely two different areas. Okay, you should not confuse with your sex identification with gender identification. Okay, sex is basically a biological thing where you are a male or a female, but gender is something, being a female, you can do the jobs of the male, and being a male, you can do the jobs of the female, because our society has given certain roles. You are a female, you are supposed to do this. You are a male, you are supposed to do this. This is something which we call it as the gender roles. Okay. And coming to the quote, I had quoted in my book as well. I Am Who I Am is my book, which was introduced by the Honorable Governor in 2017. It's basically on women's health. At the conclusion of the first chapter itself, I would have said, women are not born to do what men can do. Women are born to do what men cannot do. That is what is, it is not about women's rights or its thing. It's already there. It's already there. What we need to understand is that, we have to realize the potential that we have. What we are constantly comparing is, am I up to a male? Am I up to a male? In job, in career, in profession, in any place, am I up to a male? If a female is going to ask, she can never be up to a male, because she is not born to do what men can do. She is born to do what men cannot do. If a man cannot do any mathematics correctly, you come and talk to a female, she will teach you how to do 2 + 2. Every mother is a teacher. Without completing a BA degree, every mother is a teacher. Without completing any hotel management classes, every mother is making the kitchen safe, clean. Without completing any human resource management course, every mother is managing the entire family, people, right? Partner, children, parents-in-law, sister-in-law, sister, brother. What is this? Personal management. Then how many mothers have done the MBA HR? And without doing any financial management courses, every mother is doing the finances of the house. She is the home manager. So she is the home manager, she is the cook, she is the hotel manager, she is the everything. So why are we constantly comparing? Are we up to males? No, we are we. We are we. That I'm actually very proud of being a female. And I truly dedicate my achievements, if you call it so, and the place where I am in, it's because of the support of my entire family. And my family not only contains female, right? My family consists of even males, right? So we should be complementary to each other. That is important. We are neither superior nor inferior. And as Alat was asking about Vedas and Upanishads, in our Vedas and Upanishads also, it is more like, we are complementary to each other. No one had said that, we are not complementary, we are inferior, we are superior. And the famous Ardhanarishwara is also talks about, we are equal. When there is equality, when there is as such equality, why to talk about equality? We just have to look for our rights and keep doing our duties. If we keep on speaking, probably we might leave the work that we need to do. Just my thing is like, just keep on your duties. Keep doing your duties. You have certain roles to play. As a female, we have certain roles to play in the society. As mother, as sister, as daughter-in-law, as daughter, as sister-in-law, as sister, so many roles to play in the society. Just keep on doing every role to its 100%, and you are the best woman achiever. So we are not. Don't compare ourselves. Am I up to a male? No, we cannot be, because we are born to do what men cannot do.
Thank you, Dr. Lakshmi. And that is so true.
Thank you.
That is so true. I'm I'm going to go back to Cinzi. Cinzi, what is how can you tell us about I know you've been working at the background in to make this project and to bring the diyas to life, the idea that we have brought to the table today and to the floor and taken momentum. Can you tell us about your experience in working with uh, with the women who are actually making the candles, how you train them, and that overall the overall experience of how we're going to roll out the program?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with, of course, because I don't do pottery. I am going to have to rely on a potter to get us the lamps with the plates. I think there was a picture a little on the screen of the two
Yeah.
parts. So that's a diya in two parts. So once I get that, then the women, the ones that I've trained and the ones that we are going to further train, are going to have to decorate them very, very meticulously with the mirror work that we've come up with. And then we will have them filled with wax and then, rolled out like that. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge because we are working with numbers, but I think it's something we can achieve. It's not impossible.
So how long have you been? How long does it take to train these women to work with the wax and overall
Uh,
bringing it together?
For this one particular project, or you're talking in general?
In general, in general.
In general, it takes, I don't know, a year and a half of consistent. There are a lot of mistakes people only learn by making mistakes. I don't believe that anybody's going to come to me absolutely perfect. I learned by making mistakes, so I can't expect someone who's going to come and be absolutely perfect. There are no candle making courses out there where people have even learned, even in theory. So those who are coming to me are absolutely raw material, who have no clue whatsoever of how wax is handled, what goes on with wax, how things work, nothing. So I have to start from scratch, and it does take time. So it's pretty overwhelming for them sometimes. But with time they learn. They do that. They have been a little folly, here and there, but nothing that can't be fixed. And it's only with practice, perfect practice, that makes perfect. So I stress on that whatever it is they're doing and they're going to be practicing, they have to practice perfectly, because I believe that perfect practice makes perfect, not just practice makes perfect. You could be practicing rubbish. So I have to have eyes at the back of my head and pay attention to everything, and it's all about the details. So when I want a perfect finished product, I have to make sure and pay attention to every single detail. So the thing in India is, our plus point is that both our strength and our weakness is the size of population we have, fortunately and unfortunately. But the attitude over the years and years has been chalta hai. Always been that chalta hai attitude. I don't know whether Basanti is following that, but
Yes.
so it's just that it will go, and that doesn't work with me. So it has to be done to perfection. So the idea behind this is that I have seen a lot of NGOs in the past trying to earn, to get these people, the underprivileged, whether it's been women or children, or yesterday there was blind people who were making candles. And it's sad because those pieces are really ugly. And I can't expect someone who would actually spend money to buy something that was that bad. Okay, out of the charity of their hearts, yes, maybe, but it's not something that you're going to take home and use, which really is what we're trying to work with. So my idea is that we're able to do something, get these women, train them to do something that will actually be beautiful, that someone will be happy to buy and use.
Right.
Yeah. So they don't feel like, and the women get pride. I mean, they can take pride in what they've done. So if they learn to do something properly, they learn a skill, and you can take that skill anywhere, and work with it. So what I want to do is to be able to teach these women to do this properly, and then we're able to generate an income for them to, of course, give them better.
Yeah, it'll last a lifetime. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cinzi. Thank you. I've been working with Cinzi and trying to figure out a few aspects. I've not contributed too much other than ideas, huh? But we've really been working towards building a very scalable model, which can be taken to different parts of the country. So we are seeing success, and at the end of it, we will be able to create a lot of impact in the cottage industry, really, and have micro entrepreneurs across not only India. I am talking to people in Canada as well to work with. The world is the same. We have problems all over the world. So we're aiming to have a very simple, easy to deploy program that just creates more employment opportunities and entrepreneurs across the globe. And that's it. Starts with Cinzi, and we see where it goes. We keep our persistence, and like I said, we believe, Basanti, that we will get this right. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Chaitrali, over to you. Yeah. Yeah. So Chaitrali, you're one of the you're just breaking into the industry. You're doing a lot. I noticed through your career growth that you've done a couple of roles in the media industry. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your experience, and where do you see uh, impact from over the next 10 years in the media industry, because it's one of the most fascinating ones, given all the things that are going on with when it comes to guys like Arnab into the platform, and then you've got uh, reporters like Faye. I've seen it transpire, transform over the last 5-6 years. What do you think? What's your take?
First of all, good evening, all. My name is Chaitrali, and I'm a reporter from Z Media. And actually, this is a very toughest job. Actually, this time, because nowadays you just mentioned Arnab's name, so everyone is looking us like Arnab. अर्नब के जैसे रहेंगे ये लोग, अर्नब के जैसे रहेंगे ये लोग. So it's very tough job when I interact with people, and I'm actually working on a field, so everyone is looking like, oh my god, ये reporter है. Oh my god, reporter है. So being a girl, as a reporter, so it's a very tough job. I'm working with Z from September, and before that, I had worked with the TV9 group. It was an amazing experience. That time, everyone is appreciates me. My family supports me. That's why I'm a reporter, Chaitrali, now. So, being a girl. I have to mention that जो मेंस है वो लड़की को काम करने नहीं देते हैं. As a reporter, they used to continuously doing a politics with us, and continuously doing something wrong with us. They actually I don't know what's their problem with a girl reporter. So challenge
That is
accepted.
their insecurity, Chaitrali. That is their
Yes, yes,
insecurity.
exactly. Yes, yes, exactly. That is their insecurities. So I literally ignore them and take my way and go long and long and long.
You know, uh, I agree with you. Men tend to get a little insecure when you have women who do better, and I've seen this in multiple roles. So I can multiple times when I've worked, and I I wish I would have liked to apologize on their behalf,
I
but
can see you. I can see you a little bit tensed when on board we are 5 female and you are the only one male sitting. I
all
can
of
see you a little tensed.
Exactly.
I'm not tense. The thing is, I just want to be.
You
Uh,
have a fear whether we will steal your show.
No, it's not my show. It is all about you today. Honestly, it's all about you guys because it's no matter what, it's always less. At least for now, and I want to play my part. But the reason I is because I hope I give everyone the right enough of space to speak and touch upon the things that matter to them the most. And I want to do justice to that role. So yeah, thank you,
I know you are a good planner and organizer.
thank you. So, Chaitrali, where do you see if you had to play a role and have any impact in the industry that you're working in right now? What are the few things that you think definitely need some attention?
uh, Being a media boss, so I wanted to be many more girls should work in this media industry. So every man will not do like this. So impactful लाइफ जो है इम्पैक्टफुल होने के लिए उसमें काम करना, ऑन फील्ड काम करना, ऑन फील्ड लोगों से जाके मिलना, उनसे इंटरेक्ट करना इज अ मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग जो आजकल के मीडिया में नहीं हो रहा है. There are few reporters, only few reporters who will who was work in on field, not in a office. Okay, so it's a impact. I think ये चाहिए, लोगों के में से चेंज होना चाहिए कि लोगों तक पहुंचना चाहिए, उनके प्रॉब्लम्स क्या है वो जान लेना चाहिए और उसका इम्पैक्ट जो है वो दिखाना चाहिए. रिपोर्टर, बीइंग अ रिपोर्टर. You hear
Chaitrali,
me?
your network went away. There was a little break. Can you repeat the last line? Chaitrali, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. We lost you in the last sentence. Can you repeat that for us?
Sorry.
Can you repeat that last line for us? It broke up.
Being a reporter, everyone should work like इम्पैक्टफुल लाइफ. लोगों के जो कॉमन पीपल है उनके लाइफ पे इम्पैक्ट होना चाहिए, ऐसा काम करना चाहिए, तभी हर इंसान जो है वो बिलीव करेगा, ऐसा मुझे लगता है.
Thank you. Got it. Thank you. Got it. We got it. Thank you, Chaitrali. The network is back. Okay. I'll come. Chaitrali, can you hear me? I said we are good. Thank you. Anaga, okay. So we've got the last another 5-10 minutes, and then we're all back to our, I'm sure you have a long evening planned out. So I'm going to quickly have I want to say something, and the reason I have been successful, I've not been working at on the ground on the field with my team. especially being that I'm in a different location. But there's been a lot of effort that goes in from Anaga's side, and I really want to take the moment and thank Anaga for doing all the work she does. And somehow or the other, she makes it and she does it. And I am sometimes I feel I'm unclear with her, but she still gets it done. She understands what we need to, where we need to go. And just to give you a sense of how far we've taken this, I started the project.
Wait, that is why, like what Dr. Lakshmi said, a woman does what a man cannot do.
I'm not denying it. I'm not denying it. I'm not denying it.
That's an example.
I'm not denying it. There are things like I'm like, okay, Anaga, you got this. There are a bunch of things that she puts together, and then she'll, okay, boss, this is how it's done. Right up from the candle project to working with the with the experts in the mental. Dr. Lakshmi, I would have never been had the privilege of meeting you unless Anaga took she brought it together, and the same with Basanti. There are some things that I don't even know. I'm very grateful that I've reached here, because I had no clue that this is where I could come, and I look forward to where I'm going to go in the next 1 year. So just to bring that into perspective, what I've done and what we have done is every 8th of this month, just to measure, this is something that we're going to do, is every 8th from here on, we're going to have a series of interviews for women entrepreneurs, and we're going to see how this progresses, so that next year, March 8th, we will have a full curated, documented story that we will probably take and say, hey, this is what we did. And all of this has transpired primarily, and this is not just to make things bigger than they are, but Anaga has made this happen, right? And thank you very much, Anaga, for your time. And I believe me, there are times when Anaga has cried and she's like, Alit, I'm sorry it didn't go. And I'm like, please, this is more than, and then she has, and I really appreciate she takes it really, she's connected to this at such a deep level. It's hard to, you just can't blame. There's nothing. She's put in a lot of blood and sweat, I feel, at times. And thank you very much, Anaga. Happy Women's Day. You're the best, right? And all of you guys are. But I work with Anaga day to day basis. Thank you. Even today, right? Thank
I
you.
just wanted to say one thing here. I and Alit has started last year this project, this NGO. It is Alit's these things idea that Anaga we wanted to start a collective being organization, and then Alit has asked me we wanted to work with it in this COVID project. And this is literally I'm really thankful to Aled that he has taught me about all the digital things where I was really literally zero in that. Before that I worked within a ground level. When I met Cinzi and Dr. Lakshmi, and so I always say that I like to work ground level people, wanted to know about their pain. So where why I just wanted to know about how they are living, what is their problem. So when I will project myself at that time, I should aware about that, and in that direction I wanted to take my project. So when Alex say, Anaga, it is a fully online, you have to sit at home and then you have to do it. I said, how? Means after I later, he also doesn't know. I spoke with my mother and I said, how it will be possible? And then she said, it's a great opportunity for you now. Before that, you are just talk to the people. Now you will talk with by the this laptop and these things you never handle. And then I start the learning about these things, and really Alet has taken up great efforts. I really appreciate in this social sector that I always say that I friend of him only. I'm just say that Alet is a very very great boss. I never see. I have a many bosses. I always say.
Anaga, thank
No,
you. Don't shift focus. Don't shift focus.
no. Because there are the many as a Chetrali also mention is that in social sector, specifically in social sectors, when Chetrali knows about it, Cinzi knows about it, Dr. Lakshmi knows, Basanti knows, when we interact in a social sectors, there are always, comparisons comes, how, why she will go and how she will, work in the community or the slums area. She will not this thing. So, but here, and I never say that, this is my project. I always say that this is my project, and Alet never say no, Anaga. He always say yes, Anaga. That is, and when he say yes, no, my tension goes up. I say now Alet say yes, then how I can take it in a very, best way, positive way.
Thank you.
So he always, motivate me to do
Thank
these things. And really, I'm thankful to you, Alet, that you have given me such a good platform where I, right now, this time, I met with Dr. Lakshmi, Chaitrali, Sinzi and Basanti on the same platform, because they are really experienced person, they are very learned person, and I'm here with them. I'm so happy. These things. So I'll say that thank you so much that you believe me and trust
I
me.
do, Anaga, and we just started. And honestly, Dr. Lakshmi, Basanti, Chaitali, we've been talking for a while, and we've not started really. It's just putting the plan together. The action is yet to happen, and there is a lot happening behind the scenes, and it will, the fruits of our labor will showcase in a couple of months, and we're committed to delivering, right? Cinzi, we're done. Everybody, if anybody has any last, few words, anything to say, to take away, that would really, please feel free. You have the floor. Otherwise, I'm going to have Cinzi walk us through her studio. Just show us what you do, what is up. And I'm sure, just if you
Okay.
don't mind, yeah. Mute. You're on mute. No, you're still on
How do
mute.
I turn the camera?
Yeah. Okay.
Camera is gone off. Now it's on. How do I turn it?
This must be a flip button.
I'm looking for it. There's no flip.
Move it with the.
Oh, front or back camera, it will say.
Yeah.
Okay. So does back camera say?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. So right now, this is what's happening.
Hello.
This is one of the processes of the packing and labeling that's happening. Can you all see?
Yes, very much. Yeah.
Okay. This is the workshop. This is where, excuse the mess, but these are candle molds. There's wax, and there's wax, and there's wax, and there's wax, and there's more wax.
It's a lot of
Okay. Workshop. This is where the packing and the embellishing and all of that happens. Of course, this is where the art happens. This is my art
since you
space.
slow it down on the art, everyone needs to see the beautiful art that you create as well.
Okay, so they're all in layers. So I don't know. Can you see?
Yes, very much. Yeah. Thank you. There's some beautiful work. Okay.
Yeah, some you haven't seen yet. Haha.
Yeah.
And this is my studio. This is a candle display area. There's pottery that I do when I'm not doing other stuff. And that's, of course, the main entrance.
Right. No need to go out. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not going out. And then here. Yeah. Okay, so that's more candles. That's a desk that I hardly ever sit on because I'm making candles. Here's my lounge area. And that's it.
Thank you. Super.
Okay, then.
All right. So yeah, that's where it's made. That's where the magic happens for our project. I think it's in the middle of the night, so we've not got that. But thank you very much, Cinzi.
You're welcome. Pleasure.
And we're going to have this available online. We're going to send out all of this is going to go on YouTube, Facebook, and we're going to put all of our content, whatever we have created and said today, we're going to share it with our audiences. We have a good offline a bunch of people who tune in and ask for information. So if anybody would like to, reach out to you or connect with you, we'll definitely, have them. Anaga will take care of it as always. Yeah. So Thank you, Anaga. Okay. And thank you very much for your time, Dr. Lakshmi, Basanti, Chaitrali. It was a pleasure connecting with you and meeting with you once again. Cinzi,
Thank you very much. Wishing you the best.
Yes. Happy Women's
Thank
Day.
you so much, Alec. Thank you, Basanti, Chaitrali, and Anaga too.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, Dr. Lakshmi. Thanks, Basanti. Thank you so much, Chaitrali. And happy Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day. Have a good one. Bye.
Adios.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye.
so much, Alec. Bye, Cindy.
Bye.
Thank you, Cindy, for your time in taking us through
Pleasure,
your
ma'am,
workshop. It
pleasure.
was wonderful. It was nice. Thank you so
Pleasure.
much.
Thank you.